Breaking right now on Fox 4 News at 6. The search for a woman accused of killing a woman on Fort Myers Beach just to steal her identity to avoid being caught for another murder, the murder of her own husband. There are a lot of moving parts to this story, so Four in Your Corner is going to lay it out for you piece by piece. The woman on the left of the screen is the murder victim, Pamela Hutchinson. The woman on the right is the accused killer, Lois Ann Reese, and she is on the run tonight. Investigators believe Reese chose to kill Hutchinson because she thought they looked alike and should be able to assume her identity. Detectives believe it all started last month when Reese killed her own husband in Minnesota. Investigators believe she then drove from Minnesota to Fort Myers Beach and killed Pamela Hutchinson to pretend to be her. Investigators say the killer stole Pamela's car and then drove along the Gulf Coast states. The car was last seen in Corpus Christi, Texas, where the search for her continues tonight. Four in Your Corner's Jillian Idle live on Fort Myers Beach with more on what she's learned about this bizarre case. Jillian?
Well, Patrick, Lois Reese wasn't here in Southwest Florida very long, but during her short stay, she befriended a woman who was staying at these condos here on Fort Myers Beach only because she thought she looked like her. She then killed her just so she could assume her identity. This Fort Myers Beach condo is known for its waterfront views.
I feel safe in this area. I've never felt like to be afraid.
But this slice of paradise is now the center of a crime scene and a major break for authorities trying to find a woman on the run.
Reese is considered armed and dangerous.
56-year-old Lois Ann Reese has been wanted since late March. Her husband was found dead in their Minnesota home. She spent more than 2 weeks under the radar, that is, until she was spotted in Southwest Florida.
It should not be approached if located.
Surveillance video ties her to Snug Harbor condos, where 59-year-old Pamela Hutchinson was found dead Monday morning in her vacation rental. Pamela was in town to visit a relative on Sanibel Island. She planned to stay a few days and picked Fort Myers Beach to save money. Family also say she had an outgoing personality and loved to have fun.
Reese's mode of operation is to befriend women who resemble her.
Authorities say that outgoing personality is how Pamela and Reese became friends. But Reese wasn't after friendship. Instead, she was after her identity and her car, which surveillance video shows leaving the condo's parking lot. Now, a national search is underway for Reese. She's still believed to be driving Pamela's white Acura and was last seen in the Corpus Christi, Texas area. Now, a national tip line has been set up, so anyone with information is urged to contact that. That number right now is 1-877-966-6222. Live on Fort Myers Beach, Jillian Idle, Fox 4 in your corner.
Thank you, Jillian. We've got that number on our website, too. Four in Your Corner, finding out more about the murder victim. You're looking at her lovely face here. You can tell Pamela Hutchinson was often the life of the party, according to her family members. They say she never met a stranger, mugging for the camera with the monkeys there. They say Pamela loved Florida, and just a few years ago, she moved to Bradenton, south of Tampa from another part of the county. She'd been to Fort Myers Beach before, and they say she really was looking forward to this most recent vacation to Fort Myers Beach. A relative telling Four in Your Corner that Pamela was only supposed to stay on Fort Myers Beach for a few days. She was then supposed to meet relatives in Bradenton a few days later and never showed up, and that's what tipped people off something was wrong. Well, relatives are expressing concern tonight after taking a second look at some of her social media posts now that they know she was murdered. They're wondering if someone else, perhaps the killer, may have been posting pretending to be her on her Facebook page after she was killed. A post on her Facebook page indicated she was going to extend her vacation on Fort Myers Beach. However, family members are telling us that does not seem like something she would have done, considering she was supposed to meet those family members in Bradenton just a few days later. We'll have more on this story coming up later in this newscast. 4 bodies in 24 hours found across 3 locations in Southwest Florida. We're laying it all out for you here. Lee County Sheriff's deputies investigating a double murder in Estero, a murder in Fort Myers Beach, and then another one in North Naples in Collier County right now. As far as we know, none of them are connected. We're going to start in the village of Estero, where sheriff's deputies have confirmed just a few hours ago they are investigating a double homicide. This happened just off Corkscrew Boulevard, right near Estero Community Park. Neighbors say they heard a round of of gunshots around 10 o'clock last night, but deputies didn't respond until about 7:15 this morning, so it's possible no one called in those shots to the sheriff's office. The major crime scene unit was on the scene around 10:30. Deputies have not released any information about those two victims in Estero. Lee County Sheriff's deputies also investigating a murder on Fort Myers Beach. Happened at this waterfront condominium. They say one person was found dead inside this building. This is Marina Village at Snug Harbor. It's right on Old San Carlos Road, just off the Matanzas Pass Bridge. People nearby say typically they feel safe in this area.
I've been working here about a year and a half as a parking lot attendant. I rarely had any problems here. This is the first time we've ever had anything this severe.
I feel safe in this area. I've never felt like to be afraid or alarmed of anything, so I'm very shocked, yes.
Well, as of tonight, deputies have not identified the victim in that Fort Myers Beach case. And new tonight, we now know the name of the man who was killed last night in Naples in Collier County. Carl Levanese was 81 years old. He was found on Costello Drive, just off Tamiami Trail and Pine Ridge Road around 2:30 p.m. Deputies not releasing any information on this, but they do believe this was a homicide. A Southwest Florida man busted, accused of having drugs just a few hundred feet from a Cape Coral elementary school. 25-year-old Sean Christopher Rousset was arrested and charged for possession of meth with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a school. 4 in Your Corner's Jillian Idle talking to parents who were worried about what they consider to be a close call here. Jillian?
Well, Patrick, parents tell me they feel their kids are safe on the school campus, but that this drug bust is still too close for comfort.
Yeah, it's closer than I'd like. Sure, it is.
It was the topic of conversation at afternoon pickup.
Too close anywhere for this to happen. You know, it's literally right here next to my son's school, and it's just disgusting to me.
Cape Coral police making a drug bust several hundred feet away from Cape Coral Elementary School gates. Cape police say it started after a neighbor called about a suspicious car driving around Saturday night. The police report says once an officer caught up with the driver, he said he was trying to find a friend's house, but he didn't know exactly where he lived. It didn't take long for police to notice a clear plastic baggie with a white substance sitting on the driver's seat in plain view. Officers also found scales and syringes with residue inside the car.
You know, meth is bad, the opioids, heroin, the overdoses, the deaths. You know, it's all very disheartening.
Parents and grandparents say it's disheartening, but they are confident that the school is doing everything it can to protect the students during school hours.
Oh, they're good. Yeah, they locked the place down. The gates are closed. You know, nobody can go through the office, you know, without asking them, you know, permission, show an ID. They're good. They're good about all that.
Rousset has since bonded out of jail. Parents say they are keeping a closer eye on their kids at pickup and drop off. In the newsroom, Jillian Idle, Fox 4 in your corner.
Happening right now on Fox 4 News at 6. For days, we've been dealing with brush fires in Collier County. Now Lee County is in the mix. Take a close look at this heavy smoke. Fire crews on the scene of a fire on Briarcliff Lane in Fort Myers. This is right near Michael G. Ripp Parkway, which is normally very busy this time of day, but not right now. Homes are threatened. Evacuations underway. At least one structure has been lost to the flames. And thanks for being with us for Fox 4 News at 6. I'm Patrick Nolan, along with 4 in Your Corner's Lisa Greenberg, live in Fort Myers with the latest on this developing story on Fox 4 News at 6. Not a lot of traffic right now, Lisa.
Patrick, we are standing right now on Michael G. Ripp Parkway in South Fort Myers, and as you can see, not a lot of people on this roadway right now. That's because they just shut it down due to visibility issues down that direction. It's a little bit smoky, a little bit hazy from this fire. So that's what they decided to do, was shut down this roadway. You can see officers patrolling that intersection over there, you know, keeping people from traveling in this direction. Now, we do know this fire is 20 acres at the moment, and it's back behind these homes over here. We do know that firefighters did have some evacuations from homes in that area because the flames were just too close to those homes to keep them safe and keep the people safe. And just a few minutes ago, this fire had actually jumped over Michael G. Ripp Parkway into this side, this brush area. There were crews here working to, you know, battle those flames, working to put those flames out. They did just leave a few minutes ago, so I believe that the fire on this side has been contained. But we do want to show you some video of what we were seeing out here just a few minutes ago. The smoke has seemed to clear a little bit, at least for now, but this video shows officers, you know, patrolling the roadways, keeping people safe, fire crews working to contain this fire. Again, it is 20 acres right now. Fire crews are calling it the Broken Arrow fire. We're told that kind of the hub of everything is on Broken Arrow and South Pebble. So we're going to be heading there in just a few minutes, but this was the closest we could get at the time. And we do also know that San Carlos Park Fire Department and South Trail Fire Department are assisting the Caloosahatchee Forest Center with kind of containing this fire, working this fire, keeping people safe. And we did just get an update from South Trail Fire that this fire has destroyed one home, at least one home. We're also told that some other structures and cars may be impacted by this fire, but we do have confirmed that one home was lost in this fire. So we're going to stay out here and continue to monitor conditions, hopefully speak with the public information officer to get the latest information, continue to stay up to date, and we'll monitor it out here. And for now, we're live in Fort Myers. Lisa Greenberg, Fox 4. In your corner.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa. 2 wildfires burning in Hendry County tonight. One has destroyed a home there, a guy losing his home, and more than 1,600 acres have burned, about 50% of this one, so just about half contained tonight. It's called the Flag Pond Fire. It's just over 2,500 acres, and that one is fully contained, so they're looking at multiple stuff. Firefighters hoping the winds aren't going to push the fire west toward people living in Collier County. 4 in your corner's Carl Fortier there right now speaking with one guy who knows the risk of living this close to the woods. Carl?
Well, Mark Ergang says he's lived on this property for about 30 years, but only got this trailer about a month ago. Now it's burned out, and he says he's left with almost nothing.
I lost everything. I lost everything that I have.
Mark Ergang owns one of the few private properties in the Picayune-Strand State Forest, making the lot off of Sable Palm Road his home for 3 decades. But when he came home from the gym Saturday, Mark, who survived the Holocaust in the 1940s, found the new trailer he was living in destroyed by the wildfire.
You know, I was heartbroken, to be honest with you, but I'm a pretty tough guy. I'm resilient, being a Holocaust survivor and spending 5 years in a displaced person's refugee camp.
The fire also demolished another trailer he'd lived in before getting his new one. And then another tough blow.
Then came the barn, where all my memorabilia was of my kids and my history.
Now you can't even tell what had been there. All these structures were very close to the woods when the wildfire tore through and stood little chance of avoiding the flames. Except for his truck and a few clothes, the fire has left Mark with little else.
Except my spirit, my soul, and all the wonderful people and friends that have come forward to express their regret that this happened to me.
Ergang says he hopes to rebuild here somehow, but for now he's staying at a hotel thanks to help from the Red Cross and Jewish Family Services. In Collier County, Carl Fortier, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you, Carl. You see, Carl's got that bandana on for the smoke. It is so heavy right now. Flames forcing the closure of a road in Collier County. 41 is closed from San Marco Road to State Road 29. They say the flames are just too close to the highway at this point, so they've got to keep it closed for now. We'll let you know if it changes.